Man, from that, bro, that
Everyone,
feat's crazy.
crisis here. If there was ever an icon across games, cartoons, television, movies, and especially comics that stood above all others as far as strength, speed, and power, it would be Superman. But surely not all Men of Steel are created equal. And having just seen James Gunn's newest iteration on the big screen, I couldn't help but wonder where in the hierarchy of all live-action Superman does
two Supermans. I don't know about nobody else but this Superman.
Every on-screen Man of Tomorrow and their displays of power cataloged, I hope to explain to you in ascending order which last son of Krypton would stand supreme before comparing them to David Cornsweat's version. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and let's begin.
Talk to me.
As a formality, I have to mention Nick Cage's Superman seen in The Flash. Not much to say. His heat vision blasts apart a giant mechanical spider.
Nigga, what do you mean?
Frame of
Nicolas Cage is Superman?
Heat vision Nick Cage's Superman seen.
This nigga trash. Up, bro. I don't give a damn. This nigga look trash.
Seen in The Flash. Not much to say.
Oh, he was in the Flash movie?
Blasts apart a giant mechanical spider. We have zero frame of reference for how strong that is, but at least he can say he was in the best DC movies since The Dark Knight. Sure, I wish I could say it at least made Cage's dream come true, but even he didn't seem that happy about it.
I don't know what happened there.
Shopify is a platform that helps entrepreneurs get...
Mr. Beast, unless you bringing me on video, I ain't gonna show
More
that
aptly, next we have George Reeves, who played the Man of Steel during the 1950s. In the television episode Panic in the Sky, Superman manages to redirect a meteor described as king-size and 5 miles in diameter.
That looked like a colonized Superman.
Keep in mind that the Chicxulub impact, which killed the dinosaurs, yielded up to 72 teratons of TNT, burned down 70% of all Earth's forests, heated the solar system, caused nearly worldwide earthquakes, tsunamis, and killed 75% of all living species at the time, and it was only 1.2.
See, it don't really matter, bro, because the flying look trash. Like, I don't care, bro. Your feet could be hard as fuck. But like if your cameraman is them fucking Star Wars niggas in the 60s, bro, I'm not counting your feats. I don't give a fuck, bro. You don't get the
then
props.
What Superman managed to deflect here. However, he did not destroy it, but merely launched it away from Earth, only to soon come back at the end of the episode. Doing so also cost Superman his memories, waking up with selective amnesia, only knowing himself to be mild-mannered reporter Clark Kent. So it is safe to say this is his upper limit, and he didn't even really destroy it. It took a super weapon to eventually do so. Luckily for me, this episode was actually remade almost identically in the Lois and Clark Dean Cain series, meaning these two versions of the Man of Tomorrow should be nearly equal. The bright side is, for being among the weakest live-action Supermen, they can still survive and recover from an attack capable of effectively rebooting the entire Earth's ecosystem through mass casualty. And the examples I'll soon mention are far, far more powerful. Such as the Superman of the DCEU. Now, it's worth clarifying that between the two versions of Justice League, it seems someone at WB got their head on straight and made the Snyder Cut canon. In The Flash, we see Aquaman angrily pointing at the speedster from within the Chrono Bowl, which only happened in the Snyder Cut. And Flash also mentions time traveling for a single second. With that said, Zack Snyder noted the original Doomsday, native to Krypton, managed to somewhat break the moons apart as seen in...
I ain't gonna lie, Zack Snyder really did set fucking DC back for a long time. That nigga ass. I don't care what y'all tell me. Zack Snyder is the reason why y'all niggas did not make any more money to put out more fucking movies, bro. We would have been getting Green Lantern. We would have been getting Flash more. Nigga, his Flash was ass. His casting was terrible. Don't tell me his casting wasn't terrible. Nigga, Ezra Miller was the Flash. His casting was dog shit. Superman was cool. I never liked that Batman. I never liked Ben Affleck's Batman. I never liked the suit. I thought the suit was horrible. I sound like I'm hating, bro, but I'm being so for real. I think the new Batman has the best suit, and I think he just looked the best. I never liked Ben Affleck's suit. I just feel like it was too bulky. Like, I don't know.
That planet's sky. This has been clocked to
Henry
require
Cavill,
around 30
so I'm trying to tell you,
exatons of
he cool as a
AT&T
Superman.
equivalent. It was
The
also
Superman movie was
revealed
not-
in a Hollywood
wasn't really
magazine
Superman.
interview for Justice League that Steppenwolf managed to survive a fight with the original Doomsday. And considering how effortlessly Superman dominates the new god, he would easily scale to that amount of power.
That's my issue. Bro, Superman was the main character of their whole shit, bro. It was like, we're losing, call Superman. You go, like, feel me? That's how it was, the whole shit. Like, my shit was trash, bro.
In fact,
They
we
really
know
did make
based
him
on
like a god.
Superman's
I didn't like
ability
that.
to fly on Earth that Krypton's gravity is much harsher than our world's. This would also affect the moons of Krypton, so Doomsday shattering them would be somewhat greater than splitting our own. In fact, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Cyborg all scale to Steppenwolf, meaning they too could endure moon-shattering levels of energy. And Superman is unfazed by all
Fuck all that. I gotta see it to believe it.
three of them jumping him, meaning he should be roughly 3 times stronger.
I forgot
than
about Cyborg.
Steppenwolf.
Oh my goodness, they did him fucking terrible. Like, bro, DCEU was terrible, bro.
So he himself would be within the range of 90 exatons, or over
Don't know what that
1.25
means.
million times more powerful than George Reeves and Dean Cain. Since the Snyder Cut is canon, that would also include his version of Darkseid, who is called the ultimate oppressor, one
Oh
of
my
the
goodness,
most
they went against
powerful
Darkseid
beings in the
too?
DC multiverse, feared in every reality and is even extra dimensional. While it
looks
was
terrible,
intended
like,
for
bro, I can't
Superman
wait
to
for the new
eventually
Darkseid.
beat
How we gonna
Darkseid,
see
this
him?
never came to fruition and is likely to only exist in the heads and hearts of fanboys. But this Superman also has plenty of great statements, such as The Rock, who was at one time basically in charge of the DCEU, calling Superman
the most powerful force of all time in any universe.
Like I said, Darkseid is likely in a higher dimension, layered on top of the DCEU, so he and Superman wouldn't really share the same multiverse, so The Rock's statement wouldn't apply.
Bro, that is one skinny ass Darkseid.
However, it would
Am I
make
only
him for
tripping?
sure stronger than
Why
the
is
original
Darkseid so
Doomsday,
skinny?
who Zack Snyder confirmed is still out there somewhere in the universe. All the same, at face value, this could make this version of the Man of Steel the
nigga
strongest
ruined the
being
DCU
in
in,
any
like,
DC
3
multiverse,
years.
this statement, but I think you'll see that this extreme language isn't reserved for this Superman. So it might not be as clear-cut as that. Let's just consider his literal feats for now.
Superman. Fuck these warships up.
The small screen for the CW/Arrowverse version of Superman. In my opinion, it makes a lot of
yeah.
sense to place this
Heard
version
about
of the
him.
Man of Steel this high up. After all, the Arrowverse is probably the most expansive version of the DC universe outside of the comics, with a ridiculous
They don't got
amount
no
of
shows,
hours
bro.
and
Or no
interconnected
TV shows,
lore.
just
While he
straight-
may play
I
second
can't even
fiddle to
speak. No
Supergirl,
movies, just
that
straight TV
doesn't
shows about
inherently
DC,
make
bro.
him weak. As we see in the CW Crisis on Infinite Earths special, he was able to go toe-to-toe with a bloodlusted version of the Brandon Routh, Christopher Reeve Superman. For those who don't remember, Superman Returns acted as a sequel to the Richard Donner Superman 1 and 2 films, with the aged Kal-El even referencing the events of the maligned Superman 3 movie. So it seems to be the case that the Reeve or Routh Superman, whom the Arrowverse version battled, acts as a kind of composite of these 5 films. In Superman Returns, he managed
I
to
hate
move an
that
entire island
draws
made out of
outside your damn
kryptonite,
pants.
but even more notably, in Superman 4, the hero managed to move the Earth's moon to create a solar eclipse in as little as 6 seconds flat, which would require
Somebody just got here. What's that?
Them noodles is hot. Nobody is home.
Require over 24,000 times the amount of force necessary to
you curl
ragdoll
up
the
like a ball?
DCEU Steppenwolf. Now, to say Superman 3 and 4 are canon to Superman Returns causes some obvious contradictions, such as the absence of Superman's son in the older movies. If you do consider them distinct, which it seems the CW writers did not, this would not be the last of their mistakes, then consider this level of power to be exclusive to the Superman 4 version of the hero. The Arrowverse boasts nearly 450 hours of content. However, like the Flash's much maligned speed scaling, a lot of this is considered inconsistent. I think this might be best showcased when trying to unpack how powerful the Superman and Lois version of the character is.
Wasn't that the same
To
nigga?
those who haven't seen the show, it was originally intended to be set within the same universe as Arrow and Flash, acting as a spin-off of Supergirl. There is a catch though, as DC produced the Earth Prime comic series as a compromise in place of a live action
You don't look
crossover,
shit like Superman,
where the
I'm sorry.
alternate evil Man of Steel seen in Superman and Lois Season 1 manages to hold off multiple Arrowverse heroes, including
I'm
Kid
so
Flash.
glad they got characters that actually look like the characters in the comics, bro. That nigga don't look like, I don't.
Jay
He just got a
Garrick,
Superman suit
Martian
on. That look like
Manhunter,
somebody's
and
dad.
Supergirl herself. Steel is then noted
that
to
look like
have
somebody daddy.
survived a
I promise
battle
you.
with this evil Superman, with the main Superman and Lois Man of Steel being far stronger than John Henry's warsuit. So in theory, Superman and Lois should far eclipse the Arrowverse cast. However, this comic was produced at a time before that show's massive retcon in Season 2, due to the pandemic restricting the creators from organizing crossovers like they could in the
What's
past.
up with them touching their throats, bro? Am I tripping? It's a little ditty going on or something, bro. Why everybody keep getting their throat
So
touched on,
this
though?
Diggle that appears in Superman and Lois is stated to be a different one than his Arrowverse counterpart by the
I like the
showrunner.
way he
Superman
talk.
was the only superhero in this universe. The Earth Prime comic would, via its title and promo material, suggest that Superman and Lois is on the same Earth as Arrow and Supergirl. This book was like what we see.
That's
Superman,
cool,
because in
bro.
his
What
fight
about
with
the
Doomsday,
beats? How
they managed
strong
to
that
cause
nigga is?
massive devastation to our moon. Keep in
fought
mind, this alone
Doomsday?
is about 230,000 times less impressive than the DCE
I didn't even know that
Superman.
nigga fought.
Being said, after managing to sun dip and amplify his powers in Season 2, he managed to pull apart and prevent the merging of his Earth with that of a Bizarro world. Depending on how you interpret this, if he's either pushing two planets apart or maybe even two entire universes, as some would suggest, it would still be far
CGI
beyond his
looking
contemporaries'
terrible.
displays
That's a
of
TV
being
show,
3
though.
times stronger than shattering a lunar satellite or pushing it in front of the sun, etc. A single Earth, much less two, is 81 times more massive than our moon. So even interpreting this in its least charitable sense, an amped version of Superman and Lois Kal-El is still so much more powerful than the DCEU or even Donner or Arrowverse Superman.
You telling me this nigga
But
is
for
stronger?
my money, the Superman that eclipses all of that thus far is the Smallville iteration of the Man of Tomorrow, specifically via his feats in the Season 11 comic continuation of the show. Does this count as live action? Maybe, maybe not. I'm gonna
I ain't know. We going off the niggas that's in movies, cuz.
legitimate. They are all authentic. They are
Yeah, but we going off the niggas that's in movies, bro.
all part of canon. They are all part of the DC multiverse.
Nah, I ain't
Imagine
going for that.
being able
Hold
to
on, my
build-
nigga. Imagine this mute, bitch ass nigga. Nigga said Superman ass. Superman is
multiverse
ass, bro.
is separate from the Arrowverse multiverse. As I said as well, the Monitor
Cool, bro. I'm trying to tell you, it be too much shit going on in these TV shows, my nigga. This filler. These be filler
wasn't
episodes,
omniscient
bro.
and had to painstakingly judge from world
What's up with
to
the
world.
new Superman?
Which leads to my next point. The writers and producers of the CW Crisis clearly intended for this to be the
Man, I'm not
Smallville
on.
Kal-El, and even
I'm not
though how
on
the
none of that
Season 11
shit.
comics
How
are
strong
canon
is the new Superman,
fundamental
nigga?
realm, wielding machines
he's clearly
capable
the
of
last
forging
one, so
entire
meaning that nigga the
universes, how many
strongest.
cooks in the kitchen, conflicting ideas, and even suffered
Niggas
some
ain't watched the
globally
TV
incited
show.
setbacks
Hey,
as
that's
opposed
the,
to
hey, they need to
Smallville
get
season
Grant Gustin for the Flash, though. No, bro, no
11,
bullshit.
which was written by a single person all the way through, making it much more straightforward.
Oh yeah. come
Now,
on.
to assess the newest live-action Superman and his power level, even
That
as
nigga
far as
OP,
promotion,
bro.
we already knew that he was
The most powerful metahuman of all time.
even
trying to tell you, that
genuinely
nigga closed the
chief
black
creative
hole with
officer
super breath. That
overseeing
nigga OP.
all of DC also said as much.
He's the fastest. He is the most powerful superhero there is.
Even before the film came out, this had massive implications thanks to the Blue Beetle movie. The notion of the DC.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, I gotta go watch that. I heard that Blue Beetle movie good as shit. I heard that shit good as fuck, nigga. It's just that shit didn't come out at the right time or something. Because, bro, I don't know.
Gunn stating that nothing before
I never
the
even
timeline
gave it a
soft
chance.
launch
I
of
just
Creature
gave up on
Commandos
DC
was
ass.
considered fully canon. However, he had also called Blue Beetle the first DCU character, and he even told that movie's director that the film was the first step into the DCU and a canonical part of Jaime Reyes' story, the DCU's prologue, and the first hero of the DCU, etc. He also noted that the film is a foundation for the upcoming
Hold on,
animated
nigga. He
Blue Beetle
low-key kinda
series,
boxing,
which will
my nigga. I
continue
need
the
to see-
story from the movie. Gunn was also promoted to the head of the studio
I gotta see
before
what's up
Blue
with that
Beetle
nigga
was
move. That
released,
nigga
and he
boxing.
even provided notes for the film in the same capacity as what he is currently doing amid Supergirl's production.
I ain't gonna lie, I
That
heard
being
that
said,
Supergirl-
Blue Beetle
that
seems to
Supergirl
either
shit
be
look good.
already canon or is soon to be 100% canon via the means of the animated series, which is huge, as within the film we see a Green Lantern, as revealed by the director, blast the Scarab
Bro,
into a
I'm
planet
seeing
utterly
everything but the
annihilated,
Flash,
with
bro.
the
When
Scarab
is
then
Flash getting his
unscathed. The
fucking
prequel novel,
movie?
The Superman,
He
notes
doing
that
the
the
most
Green Lantern,
numbers.
Guy Gardner, is a metahuman, meaning that's likely true for Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart as well, who have been stated capable of using all the power their rings can afford them. So by all metrics, Superman should scale to this planetary explosion, which would be about 34 times shy of
I'm
Christopher
gonna be real. That nigga talking too fast. I didn't even know what the fuck was even going on. Like, I'm thinking we barely getting touched up on how strong this nigga is. Thinking, what you mean he could withstand a planet being blown up? I ain't see that in the movie. The fuck he got going? I ain't see that.
for
I niggas be making
moving
shit
the moon,
up.
but about 23 billion times more powerful than DC EU Superman, being 3 times as strong as the original Doomsday. But does the film itself back that up? After all, James Gunn himself said
You don't want him to be able to punch a planet in half.
but try to remember that Zack Snyder, before Man of Steel, said he wanted to nerf his Superman to the point that he couldn't lift continents. Yet within Man of Steel, he managed
Nigga,
to
Man of
survive
Steel,
and
the
destroy
nigga
the
was-
world engine, which could essentially
tell you, look,
obliterate and recreate.
All them niggas was dead. I'm trying to tell you, bro. The Man of Steel movie was not Superman, bro. That nigga was killing niggas in the fight.
Multiple continents on the Earth's surface. So these directors can say or intend whatever they want, but the movies are the actual proof of what these characters are truly capable of or incapable of.
That new Superman.
From
hard.
within Lex's pocket dimension, Superman manages to use his super breath to free himself from the pull of a black hole, while basically being within the event horizon. Keep in mind, he'd only received a minor pick-me-up from Metamorpho just prior.
Mind you,
and
that
was
nigga was
still
off that kryptonite poison,
after
bro.
performing this feat. Applying a calculation derived from Omni-Man's display in Invincible Season 2, this would mean that Superman's literal dying breath could level a whole mountain. On top of this, James Gunn stated that if his Superman tried reversing time, akin to Christopher Reeve,
The world would go backwards, and that means everyone would just be crushed and die.
from a sheer kinetic energy
That nigga
perspective,
talking.
the Donner feat would output enough power to destroy an entire country. And considering the lineage with which Gunn's filmic pedigree would inspire Superman, it stands to reason that the writer-director would compare his Man of Steel to the heroes of the MCU. Such as when he stated Adam Warlock from Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
Power is pretty commensurate with Thor.
I don't give a fuck about
Captain
that.
but
How
only
strong
nearing
was the
strength
nigga in the
of
movie?
Superman. Keep in mind that
The nigga
Gunn
closed
acted
the
as a
black hole.
consultant and essentially script. Superman is more powerful than the God of Thunder and a
Yeah,
heroine
nah,
stated
I ain't
to
gonna
be
lie. I
the
don't give a
most
fuck. I don't give a fuck about what nobody say. That nigga stronger than every nigga in Marvel. He's stronger than every nigga in Marvel though. I give niggas that. I don't give a fuck what you can show me what you did. The nigga closed a black hole, a pocket universe that fucking Lex Luthor made, bro. Like he got his ass whooped on movie. But nigga, that's one thing I could give, bro. You closed the universe, nigga.
powerful living being
you
in
something.
the MCU, even
gotta be
by
something.
Kevin Feige himself, who also said the Captain could punch away a moon, funny enough. Carol Danvers is notable for having survived a strike from the Power Stone, which boasts at the very least planet-destroying energy, especially when wielded by a Thanos with every intent to
Bro,
get
I ain't gonna
beyond
lie. I'm about to. Why are we looking at Marvel shit to scale a DC nigga in his DC movie? What did he do in his movie that make him that strong? The fuck? Niggas got me looking at Captain Marvel and Thanos. Nigga, that's Marvel. Am I tripping?
this, the Justice Gang managed to contain and seemingly defeat what is called an interdimensional imp, with
Oh
Lex
yeah,
implying-
no. I ain't gonna lie. That was a little crazy, nigga. What you mean y'all fighting interdimensional imps? I don't even know what that sound too complex. The nigga gotta be strong.
Superman could 1v3 that entire unit, placing his power directly above this imp. Now, James Gunn is an unabashed fan of Batmite.
Not only that,
from
a
his
fifth-
DC imp from the
I know about Batmite because Batmite OP. I watched my comics explain, nigga, back in the day, nigga. Him and the Pixie nigga, them Pixie niggas, them niggas OP. And if you telling me he could beat one of them niggas, The nigga, bro, I'm trying to tell you, the nigga is stronger than every single superhero that has been made so far inside the movie verse. Because niggas don't understand how OP that nigga
Peacemaker
is.
Season 1. So perhaps with further extrapolation detailing the imp seen in the film from, say, the upcoming Superman art book, this version of the Man of Steel could soon be recognized as having higher dimensional levels of power. All of this together makes this new Superman already insanely impressive.
Without a doubt. I want to know, is he the strongest nigga now? I already know 2-3 movies in, 3 more movies by Justice League. The nigga is going to be The nigga is going to be strong enough to actually like blow shit the fuck up. Like, but I just hope that they just don't make the nigga too OP to where like he don't take L's. Like he don't. In the new movie, he actually got damaged. He actually struggled in his fights. If that nigga goes back to just he OP, he gonna eat that hoe. And that nigga just, feel me? I don't want to watch it. I want to see the nigga struggle. I want to see real fights, bro.
Stronger than Christopher Reeves or the Arrowverse.
That nigga is not.
That
nigga is Superman. He not. That's a regular nigga. That's somebody's dad in a costume, bro.
Everything shown
Who
in
the fuck
Blue Beetle would
casted
make
that?
him over 22 billion times stronger than Henry Cavill's Man of Steel. And he may even stand the best chance of surpassing Superman and Lois or even Smallville if this imp is truly akin to Mr. Mixie or Batmite, but only time will tell. In my
I ain't
opinion,
gonna
the
lie.
bar
What
he
about
has to
now,
clear
though?
ultimately is the 2000s small screen Clark Kent all grown up. But it depends on what sources you prioritize, the main comics and guidebooks, or shows that try to tell you time travel is equal to Mach 2. With all that said, thank you so much for watching. Catch me on all my future live streams.
Couldn't even rank him like who is the strongest though. But yeah, I wanna really read through like who. All right, so by my fucking logic and what's going on in my head, the nigga the strongest for the fact he blew a black hole away, bro. That was a pocket universe, bro. Like I'd never seen you have not seen any character in any feel me? I get it. It's Superman. He was going to be known for that shit, but like, bro, he not even too OP though. Like, you watching the movie, he not too OP though. The nigga's still like, you feel me? He's still up there. Like he not weak. He not weak, but he not OP. But then when you look, when you do the stat, when you check down the nigga's stats, you start writing down what he really did. The nigga really strong. I ain't gonna lie, the nigga really strong. All right, hold on. DC movie tier list, nigga.